Imagine turning micro movements in the Nasdaq market into real profits, live right before your eyes. In my live streams, I'll take you straight into the action of scalping Nasdaq futures. Watch as I analyze price action, volume, and order flow to identify scalping opportunities in this fast paced market. You'll see my trade setups, live executions, and detailed performance breakdowns, all in real time. Stay tuned and follow my journey as I work to master the art and skill of scalping NASDAQ futures. Good morning, good morning. Happy whatever day it is. I think it's Wednesday. Good morning, Timbo. Hope everyone's having a great morning and a great trading session so far. I've taken one trade, but I forgot to turn my copier on. So it only took it on the the TPT account. We do have news, medium impact news coming at 9 o'clock. Is it over there? It is. So let's see how this goes. I'm starting off with just one contract per trade for now. And it's probably going to be that way for a minute. Damn, I missed that one. I just kind of changed up my counter trend divergence a little bit. That's why I looked down. That would have been the setup though. I don't know if I would have gotten filled. I would have. I actually changed up the alternate divergence going in the direction of the trend as well. So anytime those set up, I'm probably going to be looking down. But yeah, definitely missed this one right here. Actually, the rule is pretty easy. Okay. But yeah, good morning, good morning. But yeah, I've made a few adjustments. Yesterday actually honestly wasn't bad until I continued after 10 o'clock. I just have to remember that my edge is when the volume is the best, and that is not after 10 o'clock. Unless I come back, you know, during power hour or something like that, but it's all good. In hindsight, I definitely should have just kept my account. I should have just kept the TPT account where it was, because I don't know, I wasn't thinking. I guess I was thinking about like activation fees and stuff, but I don't have an activation fee on this account. So I should have just paid the 102 for the monthly and just continued on with a $2,000 balance, because I mean, I still had 2,000 in drawdown basically. Hindsight is 2020, but it's all good. I'm not tripping at all. I think between lack of sleep, frustration for almost 2 months with the copier stuff, frustration with the other tech issues I've been dealing with, frustration with being signed up to do something I didn't ask to do, I think it just all just rotted my brain. Because I would have, if I was thinking, I would have just carried the balance forward. Like, you have full drawdown and you're just $1,000 away from passing. But at the same time, honestly, I'm not very bothered about starting over either, because, you know, for me, this is just a test to see, all right, what are your current rules looking like, you know, as far as, yeah, what are your current rules looking like as far as like how well they'll work and things like that. So, not tripping at all. Not at all. Good morning, Moses. How are you this morning? So yeah, I'm just looking at the silver lining. It's no biggie. Now, at some point, once I'm like back in the groove, I am going to increase the number of contracts I'm using. But I'm just starting off with one just to kind of like get my footing a little bit. And what's probably honestly going to happen is, regardless, next Monday, now that I don't have the TPT account, well, I mean the Top Step accounts, which one of them I do still have, I'll probably be trading my Apex Rhythmic accounts that I've had for almost a year. I'm probably going to trade that and just kind of go from there. But we'll see. Shit, I was tagged back in. But yeah, so that's probably what I'm going to do, because the only reason I can't, and I mean, I didn't really want to trade that much anyway on my PAs just yet. But both. But yeah, I probably will just start trading that pretty soon. Starting next week, actually. I don't see a problem with doing that. Especially because if I decide that I do want to keep trading with Top Step, I can't trade that other Rhythmic account at the same time. And I feel like if I slow roll it with one mini at a time, because it is also a 25K, that I'll be able to, see if I can work some magic with it. So we'll see. But yeah, I basically simplified this alternate divergence here. Is that showing? Oh. Hold on, you guys. All right, I had to fix the chart over there. But yeah, I've simplified the that particular divergence. I just got to get used to it now. I think the way that I've changed it should help. But we'll see. Good morning, Amelia. Good morning, Paul. How are you guys? But yeah, I cannot believe, like, after I sat there and thought about it, I was like, why did you want to blow or go it? That was just so stupid. But it's all right. Even smart people make dumb decisions sometimes, because that was so dumb of me. But it's all good. Then, okay, so this was the other thing. So I felt confident going into the 10 o'clock session because of my performance that previous Friday. But then when I looked at the previous Friday, based on my current rules, I just got lucky that day. I just got lucky. Yeah, that was just a lucky day. And at the end of the day, remember, I just kept saying these volume patterns are just so weird. There was a lot of stuff that was working out yesterday that just shouldn't even be working out based on history. But yeah, I should have just carried the damn balance forward. So 10 o'clock is my starting time still. I mean, stopping time still. And the only time I'll continue after 10 o'clock at this point is to just blow accounts to get the free reset, because it's no point. But I am going to also do a better job of This is the thing. That was my first time blowing an account, like the one that the top step one that I blew before 10 o'clock. That was my first time blowing an account in so long, because my strategy has progressively gotten better over time to where I have to purposely fail accounts before the renewal. So that was just so weird. That was a little burn. That was a little burn. And then I think also just the added frustration of Monday being my first red day in 2 weeks and then having a red day again 2 days back to back. It was just like, what the fuck? But it's all good. Paul, did I say good morning to you? I don't know. But if I didn't, good morning. I'm sorry. But yeah, we're just gonna bounce back and get this account going. My nail keeps catching on to something and I can't see why. All right, I am gonna stop. Just because I still don't know if I need to stop 5 minutes before medium or 2. So I'm just gonna stop, and if there is a trade that I would take, I will just tell you guys. But yeah, so this is a fresh new TPT account. And then I still have the one Top Step account. Basically, my trailing drawdown is static at 50,000, not trailing, but end of day trailing drawdown, whatever, is static at 50,000. So my drawdown is basically whatever the profit that I have in the account. So I'm curious to see if I can bring this account back. This particular account does not renew until the 16th. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it renews on the 16th. So I want to see if I can actually get it passed by then, just trying to build it back up. But we'll see what happens. Something else that I am having to do is put just the middle line of the order flow VWAP on a time-based chart, because again, I'm so zoomed in from a micro standpoint that I need to see like what the overall direction is on the order flow VWAP, because I'll tell you why. Yesterday there was a lot. I didn't take the trade, but there was a trade that kind of set up just like this actually, where it was a regular pullback, touched the VWAP, the middle VWAP level, and went up, and it lost. And this one actually would have lost as well. I think it came one tick from moving the stop loss to break even. And so what I did was I was like, okay, well, is this kind of like the middle pivot level, where I used to not take any trades at the middle pivot level or the middle VWAP level, which the middle VWAP is always the solid white line. Just because with the middle pivot level, it's kind of like that determining area of whether price is going to go up and down, up or down. And because I'm so zoomed in to a micro level, I could be taking certain trades thinking that like, oh, we're just using the pivot level to push. But the reality is, when you look on a time-based chart, I'm actually kind of like in the wick of a bar or something like that. So like, for instance, excuse me, if I pull this over, so I'll be like in a buy right here, get stopped out, and when I look on a time-based chart, really, we were in a downtrend and we were kind of using it to attempt to push down instead. And so what I did was last night I wrote down every single example where a trade hits my current rules and the entry bar is touching the middle VWAP level. And lo and behold, the only loss was the one that was going in the direction of the trend. All of the counter trend ones won. And so what I realized is it's because if I look at a time-based chart, like the buy that I just showed you on the Renko chart, it was kind of like this, where I'm trying to get into the buy a little too early. When you look on the time-based chart, we really, are below, and we're just kind of retesting that area to push down and like now, if I take it and it's at the top of the VWAP, I'm okay because the overall trend, we've already created structure above the VWAP basically. So that's just something that I'm gonna keep on the left side of me, you know, keep paying attention to and kind of go from there. But all right, news is in 40 seconds. Has it been 30 minutes? Yes. $226. And now for sure, if we touch the top of the VWAP, I'm okay with taking you know, trades in the direction of the trend because we've touched the, well, if it's an uptrend, because we've now touched the first upper standard deviation level to kind of like confirm that, yeah, we are above the VWAP and it's good to go. So I'm gonna wait till 9:02 and then I'll continue trading. Got 1 minute left. All right. I'm still working on that one. That's cool. 83. Okay, plus level. Down a little bit on that one, plus a little bit on that one. Let's make this. I'm gonna make a minor adjustment to my to this setup, just a minor one. I kind of see what the best pattern is for it now. It's also why I wanted to come in with just one contract. Good morning, Red Poker. Good morning, San. How are you guys this morning? Negative 80 today for me. Not feeling well, but trying to push through a headache. Oh, I hope you feel better, number one. Number two, don't try to push through too much. You know what? That would actually help. But yeah, don't try to push it too much if you're not feeling well. Headaches can make you delirious sometimes. Doing well, day done for you? Good, I'm glad you're doing well. Yeah, today has not been too horrible. But we'll see what the rest of the day brings. We'll see what happens. It looks like so far I've taken maybe 3 trades. I think I took 3 trades, won 2, lost 1. But the Top Step account only got into 2 of them, I believe. Something like that. That was my setup right there too. I keep forgetting that I just changed this that divergent setup. As crazy as that looks, it was actually a very perfect setup, which is insane, but yeah, I just have to like get used to that new thing. It made it way easier, but now it's like so easy that I just can't even remember it. But I just last night was looking at trades that happen inside of the change zone like that. And this is something I would normally take, but because of what I looked over last night, I didn't. And I would have gotten wicked out just for it to go where I wanted it to go. Calling it a day, peaceful, that trading money hit the, exactly. Call it a day. I definitely hope you feel better though. Oh, let me put make it easy for myself when I'm journaling. Missed. Uh-oh. I can type. Goal today is just to in green. Break up this little 2-day losing streak. I also think that at this point with certain setups, I have so much data that if I don't have a lot of examples of it, like the trade that I just took that I lost, this one right here in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13. There's like 19 days worth of data, and that's only set up 3 times. A trade where I wouldn't get tagged in, a break even, and a take profit. So this is the 4th time, and there's a loss. Now, the other way of trading it, there's way more examples. Like I'm almost running out of room on the line, and there's only one loss, but it's the one with the order flow VWAP that I told you I'm going to stop trading it that way. So there's no losses on that one. And so at this point, once I hit a certain number of days of data, I just feel like if there's not enough examples, that tells you everything you need to know. Because we've had a lot of different market conditions since my data starts on inauguration day, I think, or the 27th. I think that was inauguration day. I don't remember. But yeah, I have a lot of data in there. There's a lot of high volatility days, low volatility days, and things like that. So at this point, I should have everything I need. 1, 2, 3. One more, and then I could start trading again. I also probably this weekend I'm gonna look at 1 bar pullbacks because I think that they actually follow my rule set as long as the structure is the right thing and things like that. So we'll see. Well, I'm not doing it till this weekend. Crude oil is in 15 minutes. Why do my speakers sound like that? Oh, that's why. Two, three. All right, I could start trading again. Alright, so last valid setup was at 908. Okay. We are nearing the major resistance level. It's at 37.75, which we just touched. So let's see if we push through there. That coupled with another, I think this is the second upper deviation level on the VWAP, it being a new high, we could see some heavy resistance here. Let's see though. Good morning, Janelle. How are you this morning? Good morning. Shoot, I actually went to bed at a decent time last night and I'm still sleepy. So I'm gonna take a nap today. Because a decent time for me is 2 a.m., which is only 6 hours of sleep. So, which is what my body normally needs. But there are times where my body is just like, please, 8, we need it. And I didn't get very good sleep this weekend. Usually that's when I kind of reset, but I didn't sleep well this weekend either. Did you do any overnight trading, Janelle? All right, there's the push through. I gotta be careful. There's a double bottom start right there, so I have to be really careful. What is that? No. Usually can't sleep more than 7 hours. Yeah, I think it's so weird because I mean at this point I've been used to waking up at 8 a.m. every weekday with you guys for over a year, but I'm naturally a night owl, so it doesn't matter. Like I'm just, no matter how much sleep I get, I'm just not used to it. My body just feels like I'm not supposed to be up this early and I'm not supposed to go to sleep that early either. I try. But eventually, like not sleeping that well for so long, it'll hit me at some point and force me to sleep. But like I said, it's usually on the weekend. But I really thought I was doing my big one, honey. I was in the bed by 1:30 and I know I was asleep by 2. You did nothing. Okay. Your body felt nothing. Nothing. Good morning. Good morning, Trenches. How are you this morning? Good morning. Still at work. So no trading for you today? All right, I have to think. Oh, there's equal volume there. It doesn't matter. I actually might nap before I journal today. I think I'm just going to disconnect from all my connections, take a nap. The charts will be frozen in place. And when I wake up, I'll journal. Jumped into short crude. 910 in profit. Still sad about the way you have to split your withdrawal. Probably won't be home till 11:30. That's trash. Very trash. Trenches, you don't ever trade power hour? Well, I'm pretty sure you'd be asleep by then. It's hard working night shift and then staying up until some damn power hour. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh. Few minutes before I need to stop for news. That changes things. 262, 264. I almost didn't get into that. Almost. So I will tell you guys something else that I am looking to do is eventually get rid of the last half trend that I have. Now, I am still going to use the trailing stop. That's what helps me create the actual zone, because you could see the green or red line, but you can't see the trailing stop, which is what I use to create the zone. And I feel like the zone is still kind of important, so I'm gonna keep that. But my goal is to not have any more half trends on my chart. We got rid of 2 of them a while ago. Yeah, so that's the goal. Oh, would that have taken profit? No, I think it would have hit the break even. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. Oh, I could have kept that there. That was a counter trend divergence move right there. But we were like 15 seconds away from having to stop for news, and we're right underneath the change zone, which is where I have to break even. And literally, I'll show you guys the inside. We went up, and 1 tick before my stop loss would have moved to break even, it would have got me out at break even and then took off. You got a little nap on the train, so you're actually good today. Do you have to go back in tonight? Brokerages are still depressing. I understand. Mine is, and I don't even have nearly as much money as you have in yours, so trust me, I get it. I get it. I'm falling asleep a lot. Yeah. So when I used to work overnight in nursing, I would usually only work 2 days a week. Very rarely did I work full time. I worked full time my very first year in nursing, the 6 months I did travel nursing, and then like for maybe 6 to 8 months when I was trying to get out of debt. I probably wouldn't even say I did it that long. I was like at the tail end of getting out of debt, and I was like, let's just push it. But aside from that, I've always just worked 2 days, because I just feel like when you don't owe a whole bunch of people a bunch of money, like, why am I going to work myself into the ground for what? But anyway, so what I would do is I would always split my days. Like, a lot of people, especially when you're working overnight, you would prefer to work however many days that you have like in a row, so that you have that many days off in a row, especially in nursing, because you just do 3 days. So if I do 3 days in a row, I have 4 days in a row off. Well, I like that when I wasn't trading, but when I was trading, I preferred to like work a Monday, Thursday, like something where I was split. That way, when I got off in the morning, I could trade, do whatever I needed to. And at that time, I was trading like all day. So I would trade a little bit in the first part of the session, take a nap, come back in the afternoon, and then actually go to sleep. I don't want that life no more. It's always 1 tick. I swear to you, Janelle. I swear. But I'm not sure if I'll continue having to break even here over time. I am tracking it. So once my rules are kind of like completely solidified, then I'll be able to go back and say, hey, you're always breaking even at the zone. And, every time you've written that down, because what I do is when I journal it, I'll put BE at, I'll put MT, which means major trailing stop, which is what that is. It's the trailing stop of the major half trend. But then right above it, I'll write like a small L, BE, or W, or TP out is what I write for wins. So I'll write it above it. That way I know like, hey, you broke even 4 times, but all 4 times it was breaking even because of this particular level. But it's showing that now your rules are adjusted to where you don't need to break even there. So I don't know if I'll continue having to do it, but for now I do. Just for now. And then like this level is definitely a place I do have to break even. price almost always reacts there unless it just pushes down like straight through, which it does here and there. Most of the time it's going to stop there first, do a little consolidation dance, and then break. So we'll see. I miss having to work, especially second shifts. Yeah, I'm just hoping I don't have to go back. I feel like I was telling my mom, I feel like I'm right there, which is also what can be very frustrating. And I know they always say, like, so many people talk about how you shouldn't like trade for money or, rely on trading income to live off of. But I think that that's ludicrous. And I think that the only time you shouldn't is if you are a gambler, you're a degen, you don't have the psychology together, you don't have a good trading strategy, you don't have edge. Because otherwise, if you are a consistent trader, why wouldn't you want to live off the income? If you have a strategy that can easily be adjusted for different market conditions, or it works in different market conditions, like why wouldn't I rely on it? That just doesn't make sense to me. So I'm going to sit here and make a whole bunch of money and still go to work for what? Now, I have always said that, like, no matter how much money I make, I do still want to work like maybe one nursing shift every 2 weeks, because that is a career that I still have passion for. Am I as passionate as I was before? No, because of what healthcare has turned into. But I spent a lot of money, time, energy, and effort getting my degree, and I love nursing. So why wouldn't I want to still work? But I don't want to have to, It didn't work out for them, so they discourage others. I 100% agree. Trader is chic. Problem is being forced to or being desperate. Timbo, I agree. It's like, if it's a conscious decision of yours. Now, it was a conscious decision. Well, it was kind of twofold. I started losing my nursing hours to a girl who failed her boards twice and it was still unlicensed. But because her mother was the director, I think, of nursing at that facility, she just was able to do what the fuck. And so, as someone who had 10 years of experience at that point, almost about 10 years, I felt violated, I felt disrespected, and so I didn't renew my contract. So I was kind of forced into not working, but I also felt like I needed a break. I graduated high school at 16. I never took a break, at all. I just went straight in, and I just felt like if I ever decide to have children, like once you have kids, getting that break is highly unlikely, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to give myself like 2.5, 3 years to just take a break from life, because I might not ever get this chance ever again once I decide to have children. So then it just became a conscious thing. I spent the first year still running my credit repair business, so I didn't really get that much of a break. And then eventually I got onto YouTube and started, trying to develop my strategy and things like that. And that was that. But I think because I'm not in a place of desperation, even though I've been living off savings for so long, I'm not in a place of desperation in any way, shape, or form. And that's probably why I've been able to keep a cool head for the most part. Do I cuss and fuss? Yeah. But I don't need to go on tilt because I'm losing, because I'm relying on something. Like, I don't. And I have like a certain number where, like, all right, once you get here, girl, go pick up some shifts. But even after 2.5 years, I'm still not at that point. So misery loves company. I agree. And I get it from a standpoint of helping people be realistic, and that it's not something that's easy to do, especially right off the bat. It takes a while for you to get your footing, for you to find your edge and things like that. But to just completely say that like practically nobody should be living, or you can't, whatever. Like I just think that that's irresponsible. And like Trader Chick said, like it didn't work out for you, so you're trying to discourage other people from doing it, and that's trash. Pretty trash. But yeah. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I could trade again. But I just feel like ever since I got introduced to trading so long ago, this was always kind of a goal of mine to be able to trade full time, you know, especially once I have children, because I want to be able to homeschool my kids and never miss milestones and things like that. Especially the way the world is today, I don't trust daycares. What? No. Only supplemental income for me, jumped into it after building a high dividend paying portfolio. So looking for more. So Janelle, that's like a goal of mine too, is to over time build a really great dividend portfolio. There's actually a girl whose video keeps popping up in my timeline, and I saved it because I want to watch it. But she talks about how she retired in her 30s and lives off of her dividend income. And let me see if I can find it real quick, because I did save it to my watch later. It's this girl right here, actually. I retired in my 30s and now living off passive income. And her name is Jumoke, Jumoke space MI, finance nerd. But for whatever reason, she has a space between all the damn letters in her name. But yeah, I want to watch that video. But that is a goal of mine for sure. For sure. Especially when you hit 10K. Thank you. One day. I'm teaching my 19-year-old how to trade. Kid is lucky I didn't have a mentor. Man, I'm telling you. And that's the other thing. I feel like when you build the skill, not only can you change the dynamics of your family tree as it is now, but you can change it forever. Like, I just feel like this is one skill where it pays well and it doesn't take a lot of labor. It might take you a lot of hours, especially when you don't have the right mentor, and things like that, and you're starting from the beginning. But I don't have to physically work super hard to make the type of money I was making when I did at times have to work super duper hard from a labor perspective, especially when I was working in stroke care, so I just don't want to have to deal with that ever again. I was about to say the same right now. I don't know if I would send them to public school. Amelia, I don't think so. Now, I attended private school up until the 2nd grade. 3rd grade is when I started going to public school. And after I graduated high school, every year I would go back to my high school and I would speak to their health occupation class, because my old teacher was still there. And so her and the kids just used to really love when all of us who have gone through the program have gotten into healthcare, come back and speak about our experiences and just, because a lot of us started there. And honestly, by the time you even finish that course in your senior year of high school, you'll usually know if you actually want to be a nurse, because basically the way the program is set up, in the first half of your senior year, you spend 3 hours in the classroom learning med terminology, learning how to change beds, doing bedpans, all of the things that like a patient care tech would do in a hospital. You would learn how to do that. And then if you passed, did we have to already start working? I feel like we also started to do a little bit of practicum in a nursing home, like once a week. And then if you passed first semester with at least a C and you made the decision to continue the program in your second half of your senior year, then what you would end up doing is you would shadow a nurse. You would shadow a nurse in a hospital every week, and each week you would have to change floors. So you got the experience of being in ortho, in labor and delivery, in stroke care. Like you got to go to every single floor, x-ray, everything. So it was just such a great program, because the other thing was, coming straight out of high school, you knew if you wanted to be a nurse, number one, but you also knew where you probably wanted to work, right? Like it was just such a dope program. I loved it. The only floor I wasn't able to go on was x-ray, because I was 16 as a senior and you had to be at least 18. So I ended up like shadowing security guard or something crazy. But yeah, it was a very, very dope program though. I wouldn't have kids in the US, period. I feel you. Closer to perimenopause than childbearing years. Amelia, stop. Bedside care nursing is stressful. It is. Timbo said bedpans. Hell no. Yeah, bedside nursing, it's not easy at all. It's also partially why I got out of it. Now, I have been in psych for I've been in psych since probably 2015. Yeah, 15. So from 2015 to 2022, I was in psych. And it's crazy because so many people be like, girl, I don't know how you do that. I'm like, no, I don't know how you do regular bedside at this point. Because, yeah, your safety can be at risk, you know, working in psych, but also your safety can be at risk no matter where you are. Like, I was just reading on Facebook from a doctor that works in the ICU. This was probably like around Thursday of last week. I can't remember exactly what day, but I think it was in Pennsylvania. And basically the story was a guy's loved one, which I think was his fiance. I'm not sure. I feel like it's the fiance, because I feel like I read that after the loved one passed away, you know, he was showing them pictures of, I think he said engagement gifts. So I felt like it was a fiance of his that passed away. But yeah, the loved one passed away in the ICU. And like within a day or two or something like that, he came back and like zip tied different people, ended up shooting multiple people. I think that one of the security guards ended up, you know, going into a shootout with him and passing away. And I feel like they said like a doctor was shot, a nurse was shot, working in the ICU. You know, normally ER, psych, you kind of have to, mainly ER, I would say, because usually wherever you work in psych is going to be a locked facility. And so you truly have to go through security most of the time when you're going into psych facilities. So, yeah, it was an ICU. And I was just talking to my grandma about this. I was like, every hospital needs to invest in technology, make it to where the majority of the doors in a hospital, you need a key card, you know, whatever a staff member would use to get in and out. I think it was like this when I worked in Springfield, if I'm not mistaken. Most of the doors, you needed a key card from the outside. And then the major doors had security. That's what you need nowadays, unfortunately. Now, a lot of ERs, because of the severity and prevalence of, you know, people coming in and shooting people in ERs, a lot of ERs across the country has invested in metal detectors and security guards that are at these metal detectors at the ER entrances. We even have it at ours. But I just feel like it's unfortunate that so many people get into healthcare to help people, and, you know, they end up losing their lives to some kind of violence. Like, and what made it worse was, and I was happy that the doctor spoke about this, but he was also saying how, you know, there's so little staffing now. Companies are cutting so many corners. You have the pressure from insurance companies, and that upsetting people because insurance aren't covering certain things, the cost of medications and all of these things. And he said, like, we're expected to give over and beyond care that we would give to our own family members to everyone who comes through here, but we don't have the staffing for that. You know, they're purposely short staffing us, and then this is kind of the things that happen. And it's just crazy. It's crazy. Filipino said, you got nightmares from doing bedside nursing. I am weak. Oh, yeah, it could be a lot. I remember my very first year of nursing working in stroke care. No, you know what? Was it on my unit? I think it was on my unit. I had a guy who had been smoking a pack of cigarettes a day for like over 30 years. And so he needed to be suctioned. Now, the way that the suctions were in the rooms, if you are more than capable of reaching, like you didn't have to reach over your bed to, you know, be a fall risk or anything. You could reach it and suction yourself. That's what you should do. You know, most of the time we are dealing with people who can't use half their body and things like that. He was more than capable. And so at the time, I was dealing with 7 or 8 patients a night. Half my patients can't move their body. I have a patient in palliative care, which, you know, palliative care is when people are on their way to hospice. And these people are at the very end of the hallway. And because of the type of care that they require, oh, do I want to take this? Yeah, I will. No, because I have to break even right there. But because of the type of care they require, you know, a lot of them are on some type of pain meds like morphine that you can give every 15 minutes. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And so this guy kept freaking calling me and getting upset because I didn't have the ability to come suction him whenever he needed. And he went off on me, y'all. And eventually I broke down and I was like, listen, I'm not sure if you know this, but the state that you're in right now is because of you smoking cigarettes for your entire life. Like, he has started when he was very young. And I'm like, not sure if you know this, but I didn't hold the cigarette up to your mouth. So you having all of this mucus needing to be suctioned and all these other things, like, I get that you want me to help you, but you don't actually need help. You can always do it yourself and stop bothering me. Like, don't blame me and go off on me because you decided to smoke cigarettes your whole life. That has nothing to do with me, sir. And he never called me again because it's the truth. And I don't know what it is. Like, I could see blood and I could see almost anything. I've done, I never worked in the OR, but, you know, I had to do practicum there in high school and in college. And I can see a whole lot of things, but the one thing I cannot deal with, y'all, is spit. Spit drives me crazy. Like, suctioning somebody and seeing that thick, I can't. Spit and vomit. Now, vomit, I'm not that bad. My mom is horrible. But spit just, I don't know. Just so weird. Parkland ER in Dallas, early 2000. It was a war zone with metal detectors. Supported tech was always an intense ER. Yeah, and it's unfortunate that you have to do that, but it's what's needed because people snap. Okay, people snap, and it's nothing you can do except make sure that you're protected from the outside coming in. I watch a lot of those like body cam shows. Or I can't even say show, but body cam channels on YouTube. And there actually was a psych unit where the guy so one of the patients was there for an appointment, ended up stabbing I think it was the guy, the doctor or the nurse practitioner. I can't remember, but it was his provider. But I can't remember if he was a doctor or nurse practitioner. That part doesn't even matter. Ended up stabbing him in the neck, the chest. Like, you could hear him in the background saying, air, air. Like, it was terrible. And the police, after, you know, they get the guy to the hospital and they are interviewing the employees, they're like, you guys Y'all don't have metal detectors here? Y'all have no security? Like the guy was completely confused. And the worst part was, if I'm not mistaken, the psych office was on the second level, and there's some kind of security clearance downstairs, but there's some way that you're able to still get in there without going through security or something. It was a very weird thing. And the lady was like, we've been advocating for them to give us better security, to have metal detectors, blah blah blah. And that lady was like, look, I ain't coming back to work today again. And I felt her, because what? Uptick of women showing signs of postpartum depression. Yeah, Janelle, that's happened a lot. I mean, the hormonal imbalances that you go through, the sleepless nights, and when you don't have help and all of that, just, yeah, yeah. And it's obviously not to give them excuses or anything like that, but when you put all of those things together, you start to understand. Like, you could be understanding of why somebody does something. And maybe this is just my brain because I've worked in psych for so long. I can understand why somebody is the way they is, or why they've done some of the things they've done. It doesn't excuse the behavior, it doesn't make it okay, but I get it, you know? But she always denied it. Paul, that's probably, I mean, it's very, so many different cultures, and yeah, so many different cultures kind of denounce psych issues. And then sometimes when you're in it, you don't even realize it. Like, I've dealt with depression since I was 10 years old, like super bad depression, anxiety, panic attacks. And I've dealt with this for so long that I've always been highly functioning, like still got good grades, still was the star basketball player, and all these other things. And so sometimes, even to this day in adulthood, most times I can identify when I'm depressed, but there are still times where, like, my mom and my grandma will ask me if I'm okay, and I'm like, yeah. And it's not until I come out of the depression that I realize, like, oh shit, you've been kind of fucked up. But that's because I've dealt with it for so long. I'm gonna put money into expanding site care. Nope, Janelle, they don't care. They don't care, because site care doesn't bring them the money that they want. It's the truth. Which is weird, because most psych facilities, especially private psych facilities, they cost so much money. So much. I worked in a place where it was $1,500 a day. A day. It's insane. He went in, caretakers, old bastard. He used to swing on nurses. Yeah. Sputum is way worse than spit. Yeah. Any of it, girl. Any of it. Sputum is like the super thick stuff. Yeah. Sputum and spit, it's all the same to me. I don't want to see it, don't want to hear it, don't want to. No. And it's usually like different colors and stuff. 3 women on trial right now for their kids last year. Wow. Mm-mm. Yeah, I've seen a couple of cases on YouTube, and it's just sad. Like, I watched one where this lady, now she was not postpartum, but she offed 2 of her kids. They were like 7 and 9 or something like that. I just feel like there's so many options. And with this particular girl was worse, because her baby daddies and the baby daddies' families have been trying to tell her, we're here for you, give us the kids, blah, 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 that kind of thing. Like, they were literally there for her. So, yeah, but there's so many, like, crisis nurseries and just different places like that where it's just like, bro, drop your kids off somewhere. CPS will take them, you know. Do whatever you gotta do, but you don't have to do that. I'm gonna take a buy right here if we reverse right here. But it doesn't look like it wants to. Ooh, ooh. Technically it's still... Oh, I hate when the zigzag changes so quickly like that. Whatever. Am I still green? Oh, I am, but not on the Top Step account. That's fine. I only care about the TPT account. That's so annoying. I have waited all this time to take this damn trade. But it's cool. 3, 8. I bet you that's something I'm going to end up having to adjust, but it's all good. Because I kind of am 231, 233. I'll look at that later. 1,000. All right, we'll see. I don't know about that one. 1, 2, 3. I still got like 5 minutes left. We have a lot of resistance here. A lot. Here's the 1 minute chart. You can see we've just been stuck here at the major resistance level. I'll tell you another thing. I'm also gonna look, because when I do my journaling and my like analysis sheet, I do pay attention to if we're at like this would be considered a solo level because it's not accompanied with like a change of actual trend bias. I want to check that because this is probably going to set up the same exact way, and I don't know if I want to take it. This is literally the same trade. I know what I'm gonna do if it reverses up. I'm gonna take it, but only if a certain metric is hit, which it just did. And if it loses, that's fine. Otherwise, it's gonna have to be something with this solo level. All right, yeah, it's something with the solo level. I don't have a stop loss, my God. All right, well, I'm gonna end up red and it's fine. Because that time it set up perfectly how it would normally work out. Yeah, I think it's the solo level that's cool. So I'm just gonna look at all of my trades that touches this when it's by itself. There's no trend bias change. And I'm probably gonna see that I shouldn't take it. Because technically, like when it sets up like this, where actually let's do a different way. I know it's worked out before in the past, but not that great. So technically, like when it's like this and it is a trend bias change, I don't take any trades going with the trend if the entry bar touches this level. I don't. I stay away from it because it's telling me that we're rejecting the trend change basically. And so I feel like I might have to do the same thing for it. Even though this wasn't a bias change, I think I have to do the same thing here. I mean, look how many times we rejected, you know. So, but I'm pretty sure I took most of my setups today, so that's what I'm most happy about. And like I said, being red because my strategy is just still not right is cool. So I'm okay with that. So I'm going to start my first day on the account red, and that's fine. But literally, so this was the same trade, just a different volume pattern. And so I could have saved myself 2 losses, but I didn't know. 22-minute consolidation. Yes, a little insane. Good morning, Applejacks. Good morning, good morning. How are you this morning? The girls who had the 2 little boys. Yeah, Janelle. Stew in anger. No, you're not gonna stew in anger today. I'm only down because of these last 2 trades, but like I said, I think I just have to go back and look at the trades that happened there. And I'm gonna see that it's not that great. Or what I'm gonna see is I don't have any examples of it with my current rule set. I don't have anywhere it even touched it. I'll be able to see very quickly on my little sheet, so it's all good. Rent's due Saturday. Shit. I don't pay rent. I need not where's new when you need them. Thank you, Moses. Have a good day as well. All right, let me show you guys the accounts. What is today? Wednesday, right? All right, yeah. Whoops, not what I'm looking for. Where is it? Oh, here. All right, so here's the accounts for today. So lost a little bit. Like I said, I'm gonna keep using 1 contract per trade until I get these last little kinks worked out. So it looks like today I took 6 trades, 3 wins, 3 losses. So break even for the day. My Top Step account, I didn't get tagged in. Wait. Oh yeah, my very first win, I forgot to turn my copy trader on. So on that account, I basically just had a partial win, 2 break evens, and 2 losses. So that's why I'm negative on that account. But overall, not a bad day whatsoever. I do know that I missed a couple of trades in the very beginning, but that's really about it. So like I said, I just need to look at the solo level trades and kind of go from, and look, we finally got the breakout after being stopped out twice. Thanks, market. But yeah, just need to make a few more tweaks. Like I said, I'm going to trade the next 2 days with just these accounts. And then 9 times out of 10, starting Monday, I'm going to start trading the Rhythmic PA with Apex and see if we can get to a payout on that account. I am down 225 on it. I have like 17 trading days. And we'll just see if we can get to a payout. Start with 1 contract and kind of go from there. But I feel like the next 2 trading days will probably give me enough data to make whatever little minor adjustments I still need to make and kind of go from there. I do have quite a few like setups that I've kind of gotten rid of because I feel like I don't really know how I want to trade it yet, and I might just get rid of it altogether, but we'll see. And then I'll just go from there. But I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning at 8:45 Central Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys.